All right, welcome to another episode of Content Sessions. We're here with Shots By Huss of JBM Productions.
Yep.
Nailed it. I knew I was going to fuck that up. You got it. Thanks so much for coming in, man.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I've been checking out your Instagram content, some of the videos you're shooting. It looks like you're doing some really fun stuff.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the company.
So I go by Shot By Huss. My branding is called JBM Productions. I've been shooting full time now for 2 years. Coming into the whole media productions, I didn't have a title that I wanted to be. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to be like a camera op, a director,
right?
Like all those titles. Yeah, I just wanted to be in it.
Yeah.
So I went to school for 2 years for it, and I just learned the basics, the 101, and I just went to shooting music videos because I had an interest in shooting music videos from viewing it a lot, you know?
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like hip hop is the genre.
Hip hop, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much every video.
Yeah.
And so what school did you go to?
I went to Durham College. I actually don't like saying the school because they never really helped me. Like they didn't help me actually learn what I needed to learn because it was advanced filmmaking. So what they're teaching me was almost like they learned off YouTube.
Right.
And they told us.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. Like I've interviewed a bunch of people in the last little bit. Like I need somebody to help us with the digital marketing side of the business.
Yeah.
And honestly, like all the people that have just graduated from school, I'm like, cool, can you show me some of the campaigns you've worked on, some of this? And it's all strategy, theoretical. I'm like, cool, but businesses don't have budgets like that and unlimited video production time. It's like you got like practical.
Everything's practical.
And it's a big problem that I have with a lot of programs in schools now. It's like, what practical do you leave with? Unless you intern as much as possible along the way. So I'm not surprised to hear that, but it's interesting. But I mean, I think you probably came out of it with some relationships.
Well, I networked a lot with the students. Because everybody's starting from ground zero. I felt like no one really actually came in like knowing a lot already. So it's kind of weird. I came with everybody that was just like hopped into it like just randomly almost.
Right.
And so yeah, networking with the students. I actually networked with more of like other students in different programs than than mine. And then with my teachers, not really. My teachers, I feel like because I researched my teachers and what they actually did in the industry,
right?
And they're more of like failed industry people,
right? And
they tell us like, if you want to be in the industry, you have to do this 1-2 step where, what did they say again? They told us like to be in the industry, you just have to know people,
right?
But they didn't direct us though into knowing the people,
right?
Like, I don't know, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, but that's like anything. So for me, I tried to go to school for what I do now, and I didn't have the mental focus for school. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But it's funny. So I came out and I'm like, all right, then I'll watch YouTube and see what happens. And like you pick up more there. But look, I mean, I think, for as much as a lot of people leave with that feeling, like, what are my hard skills now?
Yeah.
I think there's some merit in like staying the course and like finishing something to completion. There's something about that. Yeah. And I think the relationships thing is huge, right? You don't know who that guy that you helped out with that one filming one time, he blows up and he brings you onto something and that brings you onto the next thing. Like almost every single one of my clients right now is all like word of mouth. I started by just like, I just did free shit for as many people as I could. Yeah. And I'm like, cool, after a couple months, if you want to start paying me, I'd like that. Yeah. And then that just like snowballs into the more action you take towards that, it can just take off. And,
110%.
So tell me about how you, so you started the business up. Do you have a partner in it, or is it just you like own the
So the whole business is me, but I do have people that help me like behind the scenes. So whether it be like behind the scenes photography, like a creative director, a producer. I mean, like everybody that I'm with, we all play a part. We don't really have a title,
right?
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think your generation more than anything now is like, I don't fucking care about title. Do I get to do what I want to do?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that my age, and especially in the older, like the 45 plus that are like super fixated on like, no, I won't take that role unless it has this name on it. Like, who the fuck cares? And you know what? That mostly comes from people that are doing shit they don't want to do.
Yeah.
then if I'm going to be stuck with this, I want the prestige of you saying I'm this.
For sure.
And if you're loving what you're doing, you don't give a shit what the title is. Yeah. I don't even introduce myself as a founder. Yeah. I'm just like some marketing guy.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I don't see the merit in title. For the most part, there's some instances where you need it, but it's a good way to think about it. And then, so from the business development side, all you?
Yeah. So everything business is me. Everything, everything behind the business is basically me still.
Yeah. And so how did you get your first couple clients?
My first couple clients. So the first client I ever had was one of my classmates because it was for a class assignment.
There you go.
And so it's for a class assignment, and I knew after I did this video, I had something under like my belt, under my profile, and I can promote myself as a director, even though the title thing, like I wasn't a director yet, you know?
Right.
So so after I did that video, I posted it on Instagram, and then from there, I just promoted myself through Instagram and got my clients.
Got it. And so when you say promoted yourself through Instagram, let's break that down a little. So that's you sharing the video out to people that you're targeting, or do you run like a bit of an advertisement on that? Do you like do paid ads on it?
From when I first got on Instagram, there was no ads. So I'd like go into people's DMs and be like, check out my newest video that I just shot. I'm willing to work for, a certain value.
Love that.
Yeah. So that's how I started.
Awesome. And now are you finding a couple years in with a bunch of videos under the belt, are you finding that there's a good amount of people that come to you, or are you still doing a lot of outbound?
There's a lot of people coming to me now. I'd barely go into people's DMs unless they're like a more known name.
Right.
And I want to reach out to them, and they're always busy, and like
that's fucking great, man. That's such a happy place to be, where people like seek you out.
Yeah,
right? It's very fulfilling, and congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's really good. So what's next? So right now, mostly hip hop music videos. How many music videos have you done total?
To be honest, I lost count, but I'm pretty sure it's like over 70 plus now, 70, 80 plus.
Shit. It's a lot of video.
Yeah, it's a lot of editing time.
I bet. And are you the editor? Or
I edit too.
Got it.
So I don't know, 14. It's like 14 plus hours on editing on every video. It's crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
crazy. And so we were talking a little bit before about you're kind of shifting your mind in terms of the types of clients you want. So let's talk about where you're going. Like I guess first of all, like what's your real goal with the business? Do you just want to like have something that's like your lifestyle brand where you can make some great money and the people around you can have some fun? Do you want to build it up? Do you want to sell the company at some point? Like where's your head at with it?
So I don't want to sell the company at all, because JBM, it's my first name, last name, Media Productions. So it's just me solid, like, you know. Yeah. But I do want to like create a business out of it where I can hire people to shoot for my like brand, and where I don't have to be shooting anymore, but I do love shooting. It's just it's too much for me to do all the shooting, the editing, the scouting, like everything,
yeah, for sure.
I just want to like.
And have you tried to kind of go down that path? Have you brought people in to like go under your tutelage, or you haven't really experimented with it yet?
I kind of experimented, but it's harder for me because I try to look for people with like the same work ethic or the same like hunger to do it. Yeah. And like I get it, like people are stuck in their lives. Yep. So it's hard to do it. So it's been hard for me to actually find.
Got it. And right now, are you like, if someone were to be like, yo, I could come on full time, like that's a good spot for you if you had someone, or are you kind of like, is it piecemeal for you? Like as I get a project, you come on and help with that?
Yeah. I think it's more of like, once I do my projects, I contact the people that hit me up, because like I don't want to just bring random people. Like I kind of have to build like a little relationship first.
Sure.
And then
cool. And so in terms of like the team right now, or is there kind of a formal team, or is it kind of every project kind of brings together the right people? Is that kind of how it works from project to project right now? Like
I have like a solid like 3-4 people that come with me to shoots, but it's not like formal as in like, what do you mean as formal? Like
they're on everything, or is it like as the projects come up, these are like your main guys that you cherry pick for?
Yeah. So I have like 3-4 people I choose who comes, because usually the projects don't take more than like 2 2 people, 3 people.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I'll suggest, and it's really hard to do, so I've had to go and do it for other businesses from the consulting side, and I've done it for a couple of my own projects and companies. One important thing when you're trying to bring somebody on, it as the founder, and where like when your heart's on the business, it's your name, like it's everything for you, so right? It's like your baby. Yeah. One thing that's really hard mentally to get around is like someone comes in and you're like, cool, but you start explaining something and you're 3 or 4 steps ahead. You don't realize that you are, but you're like, no, but you should know this because that's what I know. Yeah. One thing that's really challenging from the leadership side and as you're trying to build a team under you is taking steps back and really itemizing and detailing every process. Okay. So what I mean by that, so I'll give you an example. Yeah. We do like email marketing, right? So we collect emails. First of all, we make a profile of who those people need to be. Who are we trying to contact? Yeah. Make a persona for them. Then we make a list of like, here's the people we want to try and get. We compile that into an actual list, first name, last name, email, job title, whatever. Yeah. Then you got to write copy, and then you got to put it into a system. You got to test it. You got to figure out where the links are going to go. So there's a lot there. Yeah. But to me, that's all part of it. I already know all the steps in my brain. Yeah. So one suggestion that I'll give you that's worked for other people and for myself is break down every process. Start at like the beginning from like ideation, from like how I even start to think, first I go on Rap Chat and I go listen to beats, or first I go on to Pinterest and I look at whatever the way your process is, figure out how to detail every single little nuanced step, more than you could ever possibly fathom writing. Yeah. Every single step. Because what that will help you to do is help you to see from how you've explained it in the past, oh shit, like I didn't even think that this was a step. Yeah. But there's like 8 things before the first thing that I've been explaining. So that kind of, you know what I mean though? That can get like lost in translation explaining it to someone new. And then make sure that process is dumbed down as much as possible. And what I mean by that is I will give my processes. So for an email marketing campaign, there's about 40 steps. 40? 40. Yeah. And that's from conception to strategy, the whole, to like I hit go and it hits people's inbox, right? Yeah. So those 40 steps need to be understood at its simplest. Because if you bring someone in who grew up a certain way or was educated in this process a certain way, they might not know each thing. But what you have to be careful of is, and when you got people that are employees or people that are working under you, they don't want to sound like they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. So you will sometimes get people that are like, I got it. And they're like, fuck, I hope I understand that by the end. Yeah. So making it understood to somebody that couldn't possibly fathom it unless it was written down in such a specific way. Okay. So I will give my process to somebody that's completely outside, like to a dentist. And I'm like, can you read through these and understand them? And if they're like, okay, I don't get these 7 things, then you haven't simplified it enough. Okay. So really taking it back so that you can give it to someone that's completely out of the industry and they'd be like, oh, I see what you're saying here. Yeah. Then that process goes on to the person that's actually going to do it. Yeah. Then there can be no margin for error and the learning curve becomes like infinitely smaller. Yeah. You'll get people that will pick stuff up super quick if it's explained in a way that like someone out of the industry would be able to understand. Does that make sense? It super makes sense. Yeah. It's tricky to do. Yeah. And because in your brain, you're like, oh, but this is my process. Yeah. But understanding how many steps are in it will actually help you to carve it up and give it to people and in an easier way so that people you bring on, and it'll help you understand if it's the right person sooner than later. Yeah. More than anything, right? Yeah. If it's so simple that you can't, there's no margin for error, and then it's like, no, I don't get it. Cool. You might not be the right person. Okay. But it'll help you get through if it's the right person quicker. Okay. Super makes sense because like for some things that are common sense to me and like, because I'm so used to it in the main routine, it won't be as like similar to the new person. Yeah. 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 Really. It's a challenging thing to do, but spend the time. It took, so my operations manager and I did that for every service that we offer. It took us 6 days of like off the grid, 6 days to write everything out and like really refine it. Yeah. Everything. It was a lot. It was a big investment, but now when someone new, a freelancer comes in, they're helping us with something, we're like, hey, this, and they're like, oh yeah, no Easy. Problem. Yeah. And it's like less errors, there's less miscommunication. Okay. It'll speed you up, even though it's a slow process to actually implement.
Yeah, super makes sense.
Cool. That got off on a tangent.
Yeah, that was
sorry.
Well, that was good. That was good information. I needed that.
Yeah. And so so we've got the hip hop videos, and you were saying that you're trying to kind of find some different avenues, find some different content to be shooting. So
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So, as we spoke about, I do a lot of music videos.
Mm-hmm.
I get like small opportunities from people watching my music videos. That like basketball, like I'm starting to do basketball videos. So it's almost like they have like their basketball lessons for the youth and communities, and like I just shoot behind the scenes, and I make like a highlight out of it. Or like a promo clip.
Like promo commercials.
Promo commercial, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so I'm starting to like that, and I'm also trying to do like a lot of business videos, like just the commercial promo side.
Got corporate videos.
Corporate, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And have you kind of shot some of those?
I shot a couple, but I feel like what I'm getting comfortable with is how I shoot these commercials and promo videos. It's almost just like how I shoot my music videos.
Right.
So it's kind of like clashing together and becoming something different, which they like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know.
Corporate videos that don't suck.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are horrible.
Because they're just like boring and simple and like, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's a great, I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement in that industry. Yeah. I don't know about the basketball side, and I'm sure there is. I just don't know it as well as corporate videos. Man, corporate videos, they can be really challenging. And I think you bring a certain flavor. So the way I would think about that is the same way that you started from the ground with the music thing. Hey, I'll come in and do some. Hey, I'm DMing you to show you what it is. Yeah. You will have to do that process again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah. It's like it's 100%. But I think you can, I have some techniques that we use that will help you maneuver that quicker. So what I would do is I would think about emailing people that are like the decision makers in the corporate world. Yeah. Like does your corporate video suck? Like something that they're like, whoa, they see it when they open it. So the way I would do that is if you make a profile, who is that person, right? So that is somebody in this department, or they have this job title, and they're in a company that's a certain size, right? So if you start getting into, over 500 employees, then it's a bigger process. Yeah. It's a bigger, it's more lead time for the sale. Okay. But if you get that like 50 to 200 or 200 to 500 employees, those decisions can be made fairly quickly, right? So design that out. Like, who is that person? It's Susan who holds this job title, who's in this type of industry, right? So maybe like in law or in X, people that need the corporate videos, right? So if you draft out and like create that person on a piece of paper, and I can send you, I have a template for like how we make the persona. What I'd recommend is use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, because LinkedIn Sales Navigator allows you to then plug in all those properties. Okay. So job title, industry, company size, seniority, like a huge number of variables, and then it actually spits them out. So like, I want them in GTA, or I want them in New York, or I want them in Nebraska, whatever, it doesn't matter. Sales Navigator will put them on a list for you. Okay. So it's, instead of like going through and finding companies and finding their Instagram page and then you can find the exact person who would be a decision maker. Okay. And then what I would do is I would email them being like, does your corporate video suck? Or like corporate videos that don't suck, just something where I'd be like, that's weird, I'll do that, right? And something then say and so what I'd suggest, and the way we've had success in the past, is have a couple of examples of companies you've done them for, even if you have to do them for free. Yeah. So hey, my name is contacting you from, and I have a script I can give you. It's a really simple, but it's like, we shoot really interesting corporate videos. Most of those decision makers, you don't have to explain to them why good corporate video is helpful. Yeah. They get that, right? So, we've done some awesome projects for X and X. Yeah. Links out to those videos. Yeah. Would love to chat further, whatever that, because if you, I guarantee you, if you found the decision maker with a cool, like with a nice little script with a couple of good examples and like almost like case studies of what you've done, you know, you email 100 people, you'll get a couple of like solid leads out of it for sure.
Okay.
And if you can find a way to then scale that to more and more and more, whether that's, you know, using interns or using like have you heard of Upwork?
No, I haven't.
So it's like a gig marketplace.
Yeah.
So you can find somebody overseas to do like simple tasks.
Oh yeah.
And it's like $3 an hour, $4 an hour through that.
Wow.
So what you do is you build out the system, you give them a spreadsheet, you say, here's my parameters, here's the software you use. You maybe even record a video of like step by step how to do it. And then you can actually have somebody for a couple bucks an hour be like, cool, go get me 1,000 contacts or whatever it is. And then I would use, so with the emailing though, I would use a software. So we use one called Mailshake.
Mailshake, okay.
And what it does is you upload your spreadsheet, which has first name, last name, job title, company name.
Yeah.
And so as you're building the email, you can make it look like a custom email, even though it's a mass email. Oh, okay. So you'd be like, hey, enter first name. So hey, John. Yeah. I took a look at your website. X, and again, if you have that data in a spreadsheet and put it into that system, it will actually fill that stuff in for you. Okay. So you can email 1,000 people in an afternoon, no problem.
And it'll make it look like a custom message because it puts their name and stuff.
Puts their as many data points as you have. So I see you're the job title of company. Mm-hmm. Took a look at your website and whatever. So you can fill in as much variable content. So have somebody on like Upwork go get all that data for you. Yeah. Okay. Right. A couple bucks an hour. You can. We've built. I think the last one we did was like first name, last name, city, company name, and email, and we got like maybe like 1,700 contacts for like $400. Wow. Right. So, and especially if you give them really good instruction, you'll find some awesome people from whatever country, but you can get that done for a fairly inexpensive way. Yeah. And then the Mailshake thing is really simple. It just drag name, drag company name, drag whatever, and then write up that email, and then it goes out. And you can even have it do a follow-up. So email 1 goes whatever, and if they don't reply in 7 days, send this. And if they don't reply in 8 days, but if they do reply, take them out of the list of email. Okay. So those are just like fresh leads in your inbox. Yeah. It could, fuck off, take me off your list. You'll see a lot of that for sure. But you will get some people that are like, hey, I took a look at your Vimeo. Like, this is dope. Yeah. Let's have a call. And I think that'd be a way to like get it out there quickly where, I saw your face when I'm like, you're going to have to start lead gen from nothing again. You're like, fuck. So that's a good way to like hack it. And I think those two software, Sales Navigator and Mailshake, that are like pretty, you seem like you've used a computer before. Like, you won't have any problems using them. They're really, really straightforward. So yeah, I think that'd be a good way to like get a shitload of eyeballs on it.
I have a quick question. So, as a viewer, do you view music videos like often, or not really?
I have a couple of hip hop artists as clients, so yes. Yeah. I would say like 5 to 7 a month. 5 to 7 a month. That's probably probably where it caps out.
I was just kind of wondering, like, do you view them on Vimeo, or is it more off YouTube?
Almost always off YouTube. But I think hosting them on there when you're sending an email out just has like, it has more Vimeo, especially when you're going corporate. Vimeo has like a more polished professional feel. Oh, okay. So I would host them on there only for that sake.
So like a portfolio type thing.
Yeah. Okay. That's exactly right.
Okay.
But I think if you're looking for, especially for hip hop music, if you're thinking about exposure to a video, YouTube, there's no competition. YouTube, because of the searchability and the discovery and the way you can tag stuff, you can get way more exposure to it on YouTube. Yeah. So
I have one more thing to add to that.
Yeah, for sure.
So if I'm doing music videos right now, right, and I want to go into like corporate, do you think it would be better to upload those in like one profile, or like make separate profiles and put certain content on each page and then push them out?
In terms of social media profiles?
Yeah.
Great question. I think so. Do you right now?
Sorry, I was filming a Snapchat.
That's fine. Do it. So when you right now, so do you have you the human, you the business already, or you're just merged into one thing?
Me the human and me the business.
Like, do you have an Instagram account for you and then one for the business already?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. It really it depends. So for me, I've got Mike Moll, the brand, which is actually like, I'm moving it away from like my hanging out with people oriented content and like really making it business focused. So there's that, and then Social Media House has one, and then I was like, well, do I have a friends and family one, and then do I have one for the podcast?
Yeah.
And like, fuck, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So if you have the time and the bandwidth, then I think the corporate video thing and the hip hop video thing is super different and super far removed. So there would be some value there.
Yeah.
But I would argue that if you're trying to sell like a more modern, cool thing, then having both within the page, as long as you give them an equal amount of distribution within the Instagram, you could keep the one. Okay. But I would say, because hip hop has like, and sometimes in the corporate world, it can have a bit of a stigma, the lyrics and the whatever. So just know that some of the businesses that you reach out to could go to the Instagram and be like, well, I don't know if this is the guy for us. It's too edgy. Yeah. So you know what I mean? I would think about it in that framework. If you had the bandwidth, I think they're so different that unless you're going to make the corporate videos like really cool, really edgy, like really really blending the two, then keep it in the same place. But if you want to like hit a bigger scale of corporate video, then go one corporate and one whatever. That being said, like, I think there's enough cool and unique businesses that you could land enough. It depends on what your aspiration is, right? If you're like, I would like to land one corporate video a month, and then it'll be like really cool, really edgy, it'll merge well with the hip hop stuff, and it's going to have that flavor, then you're fine as it is. But if you want to really grow like as like a corporate video making brand, then you may want to have them separate, only because you don't want to lose the corporate brand people that like see the hip hop thing and they're like, ooh, I don't know, that's too much for me. But it just depends, right? Like, I think there's enough people, like, if I saw that, I'd be like, fuck that, I'm getting that for my corporate video. Like, I've been a hip hop junkie since I was 12, and I'm like, that's what I want. But if you want to hit a bigger scale of people and more, then it'll be a little bit more challenging if you have the two on the same page.
Yeah, super makes sense.
But managing Instagram accounts is not easy. It's a lot of work.
Also, I feel like people, because I have my personal page and my business page, right? So I'm not really too active on my business page. So on my personal page, people usually contact me for like, they actually contact me because of my name, not because of my brand. If that makes sense. Like they contact me because I'm Shot By Huss, the director, not JBM Productions, the production house. Like,
got it.
So I'm trying to.
To be honest, on the two of them, I would just merge it into one. I would just have in one of your lines like CEO or whatever your title is of JBM Productions. Yeah. Because that's, well, I can't say that because I do have Social Media House and I do, so I have them that way. Yeah. But I think the difference for me, and I don't know what your answer is to this, but like, I'm trying to get into more consulting and more speaking, and I'm building the podcast. I mean, doing the podcast to build my personal brand out, if you will. I hate saying that word, but that's what I'm trying to build a brand around that. So if you're building both, it might be better to keep them separate. I would actually keep those two separate. Even though it'd be easier to do in one spot. For me, most people know me, they don't know Social Media House. But as that grows and as I get more of a team there and as we add products to it, I don't want everybody ringing up my phone being like, oh, I'm looking for you. Because I want people to know Social Media House as a separate thing, that I come to them for this work. So for me, that's the reason I would keep it separate. With directing, it's like, it's so intertwined that you could get away with it, but my feeling on it is having them as separate would probably make the most sense.
Makes sense. Because I feel like I want clients to hit JBM Productions and not just look for me and see who else is under the team to like pick specific jobs.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And that's where your brain has to be when you want to expand and grow. It's like, I know people are going to, and it's the same thing for me. Like, I know when the phone rings for us, it's like, ooh, I need Mike to do this strategy. Yeah. And I've got somebody that can do the strategy, but like, they want me.
They want you,
it's the same thing. They want you, but it takes a long time. Like, you know, in my next 3 to 5 years, I'd like to remove myself from that but have the personal brand side going. But it's going to take it's going to take another 3 to 5 years to remove myself from my phone ringing and everyone wanting the answers from me directly. Yeah. Because that's how startups work. Yeah. You make something and people are like, oh, you're the one that made it. I need to talk to you. Yeah. But as you build out those systems and you have people that can do what you can do, even if it's never going to be the 100% best the way that you do it. Yeah. But you get people that you're confident in, that you got a good relationship with, that can do it pretty high level, and you still feel like it's a good product. It'll grow into that. Okay, perfect. But yeah, keep them separate. Okay. Build both names together, because the quicker you can remove your name, the quicker you can grow it in a way where you're not shooting it all day every day, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so I think we talked so lead gen. I think that's the idea that I would use. I mean, you can run paid ads, right? But I think from the bigger picture standpoint, and we've been running them for different agencies and photography company, and we just did like a big batch of ads on LinkedIn and like got a lot of views. It got some traffic to the site, but I'm like, I would just rather find out the person who would make the decision, be like, hey, do you need this right now? I'd like to start talking to you about this. Yeah. Then it's like an easier yes or no. And I think from a cost perspective, you're going to be on the better side by doing that than running a bunch of Instagram ads and stuff. I still think you should run some ads on your content just to get following. Yeah. I think if you've got cool pieces, like you have so many cool pieces of video that like you could grow it just, you could grow it and grow some name around the brand of like, you know, you have X amount of followers. When you post, a certain percentage of them see it, and if a bunch of people are interacting with it, it goes into discovery, and you get a little bit. With an ad, you're like, I want people that are fans of this hip hop artist and that hip hop artist to see this video because the music kind of coordinates with it, right? That's like a great blend of that's the person that's going to share it, and then it's going to make it. It doesn't mean it's going to go viral. I just think it brings a lot of attention to the brand for a fairly cheap price. So you can spend $2-3 a day and just let a post run on an Instagram ad for like months and months and months. Okay. And it can get like my podcast ad right now. I was running it at $5 a day to people that like follow other people that are similar to me in terms of like business personalities, because I don't really have a name, but there's people that I feel like my content's kind of similar to. So I'm targeting fans of theirs. And so at first it got up to like 700 or 800 likes, and then I throttled it back to like $1 a day. Yeah. And now it's like, I don't know how many it's at, but it gets me like maybe like 10 to 15 new likes every day. Okay. But that ad running for months and months and even a year, like eventually it's going to have 10,000 likes, and then it could pick up steam on its own. Yeah. Whereas organic content doesn't have as much opportunity to get there. Okay. Yeah. So spending a little bit, again, even if it's like $1 a day on a couple of like your really cool posts. Yeah. I think there's some value there. Okay. But I think from like the real business development standpoint of like, I want to get more corporate people. Yeah. I think that's a simpler and more affordable way to reach them.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
Any other thoughts? Any other questions?
Wait, let me check my phone quick.
Yeah, for sure. My notepad is my my notepad is my save place as well. I have everything in there.
I told you about the outside of social media. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So, do you think collaborating with other companies and brands create positive marketing strategies for both parties, or like should I just focus on doing certain projects and certain things just under my brand?
So the answer is it can work, but it can also not work. Yeah. Do you have a scenario in mind before I kind of share my thoughts on it?
Well, I'm planning to do I feel like I already know the answer to this anyways, but like I'm doing it's called the Give Back Tour. So I'm like trying to do something for like the community, for the youth and the homeless, and the food drive. So I was thinking of like doing it under my brand, or should I have like outreach to other people to kind of like collaborate with me and like kind of like not take their fan base, but like have them with their fan base, mine with my fan base, and then come together and then do stuff like that. Like,
yeah, I mean, if the fan bases align, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, when you're doing it for like charity reasons, I don't like, you can still be a little bit strategic with it, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like it's giving back. And I in my mind, I leave that bucket of attention wherever it goes. If people follow me because of it, fine. If you're doing like, hey, I want to put out like a showcase piece or some really cool video, I would collaborate with as many people as possible, especially if their audience is the same type of people that you would want, because you're both going to naturally siphon a little bit of audience from each other. And I think the potential to get that exposure is great, but it also depends. Like you might say, hey, but if I'm and as a solo business owner, like you got to figure out where your time is best served. Is it collabing with people so that my Instagram following will go up? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's emailing 300 people a day for corporate videos. So you got to weigh like how much time will it take to make the collaboration. I'd say like experiment with it, and you may find some sweet spots there. I would say if you're trying to drive general awareness to the business and you're trying to increase your following, then yes, it's a great spot to play. But is it going to create lead generation in the space where you're trying to get more business? Not so much, right? Like I think that plays more in like the hip hop music creative space, the collaboration stuff. Maybe there's some collaboration for corporate that exists. I don't really know. It doesn't sound the same way in my brain. Like I'm trying to think about how that would work.
For the giving back though, that's just like an upcoming project. Like I don't like the what I get from that is just like it's like with me like it's not really like to get fans out of that. Like it was just a example. So I get it. I was just saying.
No, it's good. And I think, if you can find the right thing, like if some big super relevant important brand, if they reached out and they're like, hey, I like the style that you shoot, and then you'd be like, cool, why don't I come and shoot video for free at your next whatever? Like I would do that all fucking day, right? Because then your name is going to be attached to something from a bigger company with a big audience. So yes, I would say, if it's just a matter of giving away your time to potentially get audience like that, and you have the time to do it, all day, every day. I go, I'll talk at different things. Like I'll talk for free. I actually give like hour-long consultations on like how this works and how that works. If it's the right business where they're going to be like, man, that guy was so nice for doing that. Because they might not hire me for something, but the next time, oh, my buddy is looking for this. Oh, I know this guy, Mike, he does that. Like that's a lot of our business is like I've given out time and energy to stuff, and then someone's referred or someone's like, oh, this guy, Mike, he knows about that thing. Like it just drives business because it's just good, whatever you want to call it, juju or something. But I do think that's a good play.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All my questions.
Awesome, man. Well, do you want to give a little shout out to your new brand you're repping?
Shout out Shoebox Mentality. They have some nice, clothing, apparel. They got hats, hoodies, t-shirts. They have a good what do you say? What's like their meaning, their motto and everything is like very close to me. It's Shoebox Mentality. It's like basically having like a hustler's mentality.
Right.
Usually like hustlers, they don't like really, when they save their money, they don't go to banks, they put it in their shoebox.
Right.
And like it's like starting from ground zero and just like working your way up and understanding like the process of yourself and becoming that like hustler in you, Like,
nice.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting for my hat in the mail. Thank you. All right, man. Well, thanks for stopping by. It's super nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And
nice meeting you
we'll
too.
do it again sometime.
For sure.
Cool.